Chris, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to do banana bread because I have some bananas that need to be done. So I usually do two things with bananas. I either make bread out of them or I chop them into pieces and I freeze them, and you can make fabulous frozen dessert just with frozen chunks of banana in your freezer. Perhaps we'll have a look at what that looks like one day. So today we're gonna do the banana bread. I have two pans with some parchment paper in them because I'm gonna double the recipe today. I'm gonna take half of it out and make one pan with that. And then I had an idea that I wanna experiment with the second half. So bear with me while we make two different versions. So I have 1.5 cups of soy milk, which we're going to add 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to sour it for a depth of flavor. I have 4.5 cups of whole wheat flour. Use any kind of flour that you like. If my gluten-free aunts were going to be here, I would use gluten-free flour. I have 2 cups of demerara brown sugar because that's the kind of brown sugar I like to buy. You can use any kind of sugar there that you like. Again, I'm doubling the recipe, so these are double the quantities. I have 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of vanilla. I have my handy dandy 1/4 cups of applesauce that I'm going to replace the fat with. I have 4 tablespoons of ground flaxseed because I'm going to add it to 12 tablespoons of water to create my flax egg. So when you're not eating eggs, you need to find that gooey bit that'll glue your cakes together. So if we start that will congeal while we're getting everything else ready. So I have a big pile of bananas, 4, which is about double the recipe that I need. And we're good to go. So our milk is souring and our flax egg is congealing. It's a horrible word when you're talking about cooking. I'm gonna start the oven preheating to 350, and then for my experimental bits, I want a quick piece of parchment paper. So the first cake that we're gonna do will just be the regular banana cake, and then sorry, it's a little noisy. The second part, I'm gonna add some toasted pecans and some freeze-dried pineapple. So I'm just gonna pop these pecans into my little Cuisinart oven and let them toast at 300 for a few minutes and get all nice and crunchy. So firstly, I'll take my bananas, which are very, very ripe and so sweet when they're this ripe, and add them to my mixer. Didn't realize they were quite as ripe as they are, and they smell very, very banana-y. So I can mix my sugar in with that banana and get it nicely creamed. This is actually a Better Homes and Garden recipe that I've been using forever. I've always made it this way. I guess before I went vegan, I used real eggs. So just let that sugar and banana cream. I do like the bananas to be a little bit chunky. I will add my applesauce in lieu of fat. And I will add over here to my dry ingredients, I will add all my baking soda and baking powder so that I can incorporate it with my whisk. Just to make sure it's all mixed in together nicely and well blended. Then I'll add my vanilla to my milk. I just want to show you what this starts to look like. So there's our flax eggs. Starting to kind of group together, and it kind of forms a bit of a gel. So I'm gonna add some of this flour mix into our bananas and sugar. Get it mixing a little bit. Starts to come together. I add some of our milk. I'm going to turn it off to add the rest of the flour. All right, so there's our main batter, and we're gonna add if you were using real eggs, you would add them here as well. But I'm using flax eggs. Just give it a quick mix. And it doesn't need much. And that's it, that's my banana cake. So I've just got a loaf tin with some parchment paper in here. And I'm just gonna put half of our batter in there. See how all the activating ingredients have started to happen. It's already very puffy. So I'm hoping that our pecans don't take too long. I can put a little bit more in that. Should have weighed that. Make sure I get half. And then I'm gonna pop this first one right into the oven because I want it to still be puffy. And then we can have an interlude while we wait for the pecans.
What else could you use instead of flax for eggs?
An egg substitute. Yeah. There is such a thing. It's mostly cornstarch, and I'm sure I have some. So there's this product. It's an egg replacer, and it is cornstarch, potato starch, guar gum, baking powder, sodium bicarbonate. So basically everything I've already put in there, right? But with that little bit of guar gum to give it that elasticity, because we're looking to recreate that, I want to say, phlegminess of an egg.
The binding agent.
Yeah, but that's the part. It's the snotty bit that makes the egg stick, or the cake stick together, right? Ooh. So there are options. So I'm going to take about a half a cup of pineapple, freeze-dried pineapple. So had a conversation with someone this morning who was talking about dehydrated food and thinking that it was the same as my freeze-dried food, which is not, because freeze-dried food has 0 water content, I think 0.01%. And dehydrated food still has quite a bit of water left in it, so it will mold. Then what we'll do is I will pop the pecans in here. We'll give them a quick chop with my handy dandy chopper and add it to our banana batter and then put it in the other pan. So our pecans have cooled a little bit, so I can add them to my fabulous hand food processor with my pineapple, and we're stuck. All right, just a couple seconds. That's all it needed. I just wanted it to crumble down a little bit. Oh, it smells fantastic. Right, add this to the rest of our batter. Do you see how everything's all bubbly and puffy? That's all the sodas and acids activating, and it's really come together like a nice batter. So I will pour that in there. A little bit more than half. I think so. What I'm gonna do is bake that off in a smaller dish for Andrea. And I'll pop that in the oven. Oh, you can see the other one is puffed right up on. There, about 40 minutes.
1 nap later.
So our bread has been sitting for a few minutes. I will get out my trusty butter knife and just release the edge. And then it should pop right out with my paper, leaving me very little cleanup. It's so light and spongy. You will want to let it set and cool down quite a bit before that you try to slice it. So when I have bananas and don't have time to make a banana cake, I chop up my bananas and I just freeze them on a cookie sheet in the freezer. And when they're frozen hard, I put them in a zip bag and they're ready to go for either dessert or into your shake. So we have decided we're going to have frozen dessert. So I'm gonna pop that in there. This is gonna make a racket. And it does take a few minutes. You'll think, oh my God, this is never gonna turn into something I wanna eat, but leave it and it will. I'm gonna add a splash of vanilla. The first time I made it, I thought, oh my God, I've wrecked this. I've done something horrible. And if you just leave it for a couple more minutes, you'll be happy. Okay, here we go. So you'll see it's starting to get super creamy. I just want to scrape down the sides, make sure that everything gets incorporated. Then after it's blended, you could add nuts, fruit, more fruit, whatever you like. Here we go, back on. Come and look at how creamy this is now. Yeah, that's good. Look at how lovely and creamy that is. You could, if you didn't think it was sweet enough, you could add a date. Some maple syrup would be nice, just for a different flavor. And there's our really nice ice cream. So this is the one with the pecans and pineapple, and this is the one that we put in first, so it's ready for slicing. It's still a bit warm. Has a nice crust on the outside and a nice cakey center. Nice big chunks of banana in there. And I think your family will love it as much as mine does.